Okay, fourth grade. For this lesson, we'll be working on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. We're going to be giving two examples. First, we're going to do addition. The next one will be subtraction with word problems, and then we'll take it specifically just to adding and subtracting when we're giving just the algorithm or the equation. So let's look here. Randy ran 1 1/3 miles on Monday, 2 2/3 miles on Tuesday, then 2 2/3 miles on Wednesday. How many miles did he run altogether? So our key information is 1 and 1. We have 1 1/3 here. We have 2 2/3 here, 2 2/3 here, and our question is how many miles did he run altogether? So altogether, we know we need to add. So let's write down our fractions here. So we have 1 1/3. 2 2/3, so we know we're adding, plus 2 2/3, plus 2 2/3. Now, when we're adding mixed numbers, what we want to do first is we want to look at the fractional parts. So we want to look at the 1/3, the 2/3, and the 2/3. And our goal here, the first goal that we should do, is to find and group numbers, mixed numbers, in which we can create wholes. So let's take, for example, 2/3 plus 2/3. That gives me 4/3. So I have an extra step that I need to take there. So I don't necessarily want to group my 2/3 with my 2/3. So let's look at 1/3 and 2/3. 1/3 and 2/3. Well, it gives me 3/3. And when I see 3/3, I know 3/3 equals 1 whole. So let's group these together. So I'll put our parentheses in here. Okay, 1 1/3 plus 2 2/3. And now let's focus first on the fractional parts. The 1/3 and 2/3. If we know that 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3 and that equals 1, well then we can just put our 1 here. Our 1. And some of you guys may recall the step now. What we do is we draw our U. Okay, and so now we're putting all our whole numbers. So we use these two. We don't need to worry about them anymore because they became 1. And now we're going to add our wholes together. So 1 plus 1 equals 2, plus 2 gives me 4. And now I can add in my 2 2/3. So in order to do that, instead of going across, let's take it back and let's stack. So let's stack. So we'll say 4 plus 2 2/3. Okay, so now we'll work with our fractional side first. We don't have any fraction here, so we know down here it's going to be 2/3. And then 4 plus 2 gives me 6. So my answer is 6 2/3. Okay, so we'll take this and then we'll go to another one with subtraction, which will be just a little bit. Okay, so now we have Betty has 7 2/6 yards of rope and 4 5/6 yards of string. How much more rope does Betty have than string? So we have our 7 2/6, 4 5/6, and then we have how much more rope does Betty have than string. And our key here is how much more. When we hear how much more, we must subtract. So let's take 7 2/6, okay, minus 4 5/6. And it's important that we stack here because it's going to help us out with problem solving. So the first thing we want to do here is we want to split our fractions and our wholes. So we're going to draw our line now. Now remember, I can't reverse this. I can't say 5 minus 2 gives me 3. 6. I can't reverse it. I can't reverse it that way. Can't do that. What I have to do is I have to ask myself, can 2 minus 5? So I'm looking at my fingers. I have 2 fingers up. Can I take a 5 away from that? No. So in order to solve this problem, what I need to do is I need to regroup. And I'm going to regroup from my whole. So I'm going to regroup from my whole, and my 7 is going to become a 6. And remember, I'm taking a whole. I'm taking a whole. And I'm going to move my whole here. So in order to subtract and to make this bigger, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add. And now I need to figure out, what is my whole here? How is my whole? So I'm going to look at my denominator. My denominator here is a 6. So this must be a 6 here. And remember, if we talk about wholes, 3/3 is a whole, 4/4 is a whole, 10/10 is a whole, 9/9. When my numerator and my denominator match or are equal, that means they all equal 1. So remember, I'm taking 1 away from there. And I want to move it over to my right side in order to make myself a bigger fraction on top. So this is 6. If I'm making a whole here, what should be my digit there? If you said 6, you are correct. So now 2, 6 plus 6, 6, and so I'll flip it across. 2 plus 6 gives me 8, 6. And now I can do my subtraction because I have a number up here that's greater. 8 is greater than 5. So all I do is move my 5, 6 over. Now I can subtract 8. And remember, my denominators are the same, so they don't change. My denominator will be 6 here. 8 minus 5 gives me 3. 6 minus 4 gives me 2. So combine it together, put it all together, and I end up with my answer of 2 and 3, 6. So now let's go to let's practice with two of them. Okay, let's practice with two of them here. So I'm going to start over here. We're just going to just do numbers here. So my first example, I'm going to have 5 and 1 6 plus 4 and 4. 4 and 4 6 plus 7 and 5 6. Okay, so that's going to be my first problem. All right, and what I want to do is I want to again combine. Look at my fractional parts, and I want to make a whole. So if I'm looking at here, my denominator is 6. My whole will look like 6 6. I got to figure out which two of these fractions can I combine to make a 6 6. So if I look here and I say 4 6 plus 5 6, that's 9 6. That doesn't make a whole. 4 6 plus 1 6, that gives me 5 6. That doesn't make a whole. But 1 6 plus 5 6, that gives me 6 6. So that makes a whole. So what I got to do is I got to rearrange my numbers. Okay, so I rearrange my numbers. Got to switch them. So I'll start off with 5 and 1 6. And remember, I'll make a group, and I'm going to move my 7. Plus 7 and 5 6 plus 4 and 4 6. And so my group here is going to be my 5 and 1 6 plus my 7 and 5 6. Looking at my fractions, 1 6 plus 5 6 gives me 6 6, which equals my 1. So I drop my 1 to the bottom, cross it out. I've used those, and now I connect my wholes with my u. Add them up together. 5 plus 1 gives me 6. Plus 7 more, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. My answer here is 13. And so now I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring my 4 and 4 6 in. So now, again, stack 13 plus 4 and 4 6. Okay, nothing here, so my fraction is 4 6 here. 3 plus 4 gives me 7. 1 plus 0 gives me 1. 17 and 4 6. So that's, again, remember, our goal here is to make wholes. So 4 6 plus 1 6 only gave me 5 6. I'm looking to make 6 6 here. Okay, so now let's go to subtracting. So now we go to subtracting, and I have this question here, and it tells me, okay, I'll have 10, okay, 10 and 2/5 minus 5 and 4/5. Okay, so now I'll break it apart. Remember, I don't do 4 minus 2. I don't end up with 2/5. It has to be 2 minus 4. Can 2 take away 4? No. So I regroup. 10 becomes a 9. And I'm going to add a whole over here. Add a whole. And my whole, because my new denominator is 5, I have to add a whole. Can it be 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, or 5/5? Correct. It has to be 5/5. So adding 5/5, I end up with 5 plus 2 gives me 7/5. Move across my 4/5. Now I can subtract. 7 minus 4 gives me 3. Denominator stays the same. It is 5. Now I can go to my wholes. 9 minus 5 gives me 4. So my answer is 4 and 3/5. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's practice another one. Okay. So I have 8 and 7/8 minus 4 and 3/8. Okay, draw my line in. Now I have 7 minus 3. Oh, it's a little bit different. 7 can take away 3. So 7 minus 3 gives me 4. Denominator stays the same, 8. 8 minus 4 gives me 4 and 4/8. So remember, we're subtracting. If you need to come across, so let's just change this around and let's say 8 and 1/8, and we have 4 and 3/8. We cannot work reverse. We cannot go 3 minus 1. We must regroup. So 8 becomes a 7, and I add in a whole. And here my denominator is 8, so my numerator must be 8 equals 9/8. Move over. 3/8 equals, subtract it, 6/8. 7 minus 4 gives me 3 and 6/8. Okay, so there you go. Hopefully this helps you out, and we have one more lesson to go, which will be on unit fractions.